We are back for some chaos. So I am here to do my first weekly, somewhat weekly vlog for Raining Blue Reads her Get a Clue readathon, and we had our proms drop. So I'm doing my competitive readathons a little bit differently this year because normally when I'm not reading a book that I'm trying to get through very quickly, I normally listen to a book and I physically read a book. So they're two different books. So that's kind of how I am. But because of competitive based readathons, speed is really like the issue. What I normally do is I normally pick a book for the prompt, and it's normally my physical read, and then I pick an audiobook for like an extra prompt that can happen. Like I did that with Amazing Readathons, and I think it just was a bad decision because I was always frantically trying to catch up. So here's what I'm going to do this time. It may backfire a little bit because some of these books I may have to put down if they don't work for some prompts. But I'm going to pick two books for every prompt. I'm going to pick an audiobook for a room prompt, and I'm going to pick a physical book for a room prompt. And then whatever one I finish first will just count. So we are in the lounge. We all have the same prompts. That's where we're starting. So we have to read a book with a comfy, cozy adjective because the lounge. I'm really excited about that. So I am going to pick up A Letter to the Luminous Deep by Sylvia Cattrall. This is going to be my first physical book, and then I'm going to pick up a book by Katie McGarry as an audiobook. It's called A Wicked Beautiful Garden. I will attach it here. Favorite authors when I was younger. I loved all her YA books, and she wrote this adult cozy romance series that I really do want to read. It's also rather short. I normally, during readathons, I pick up short audiobooks, but it does have a romance element to it. So I'm gonna pick that up. It is barely 8 o'clock in the morning. I just got up. And now I feel like I need to dive into something new so I don't fall into a deep Onyx Storm hole. There are a lot of vlogs I do want to watch as well today about that. So, but also now that I'm finished with Onyx Storm, I can watch some of my wrap-ups and stuff. So that is the plan for today. I have to go get my nails done. I'm going to bring my audiobook with me. I have to go to yoga. While I'm at my yoga place, I'm going to try to read at least 50 pages of this. So if I can get to 50 pages, I will definitely give you an update. But I don't really know much about this. I know that you're reading letters between two people that go missing, and you're kind of seeing their relationship, and then their sister and Henry's brother have to kind of piece together the mystery. So this will count for a mystery book. It is not green enough. I don't think I would count this. This is a very blue book, but at least I will get bonus for mystery. So yeah, I'm gonna go start this. I'm gonna go do all my YouTube stuff that I have to do, and then I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye. Dragons, I am back. I just want to do a bit of a quick update. It is a lot later. It's 6 o'clock. Today was not my normal day of sitting home and reading. I went to town. I got my hair done. I got my nails done. So for Valentine's Day. And then I listened to a lot of A Wicked and Beautiful Garden by Katie McGarry. I'll attach a photo here. Fan of Katie McGarry. I read all of her YA books back in the day, and I really enjoyed them. This book, I don't know how I feel. I feel like it's a little bit like a mindless listen, to be very honest. And I'm gonna finish it because I literally have an hour left. But it's not capturing my attention, to be very honest, and it's a little bit forgettable. There's this girl, and she is in this world about fae, and about 10 years ago there was a revelation that fae exist. And then when she turned 18, there was a revelation that witches exist, and she's a witch. She was a practicing midwife, and she is kind of forced to team up with her ex. There was a big incident. There was a car accident that kind of set her on a path. And it's a little bit confusing, but basically she has to team up with her ex to find this baby that they're looking for that's the queen of the Fae realm. So it's definitely much like an urban fantasy, I will say that. I really like the small town vibes, the first 20% of it, and then it went all high fantasy, and I just feel a little bit out of sorts. There was also there is definitely a second chance romance here. It's pretty spicy. There is a fae and magical world. It does give me, there's some blood drinking, I will say, in this book as well, for the fae, so that's interesting as well. But the story is not it's not a very captivating story, so I just feel a lot of the characters are not hitting me. Also, it's a lot of world building because it's definitely like a fantasy romance too. So yeah, I don't know right now. If I had to say right now, I probably would not read other books in the series, but I don't know. It's just not hitting the way that I was hoping. So this is probably going to be the book I'm going to count for this prop because I only have an hour left. And I'll probably do that tomorrow. I'll probably finish it. But I also did wind up getting up to chapter or page 48, chapter 5 in A Letter to the Luminous Deep by Sybilla Cattrall. And I'm having a super fun time with this. This is a complete and epistolary romance. And it follows a couple of different people. But it follows Sophie and Viren, and they are kind of piecing together their siblings' issue. Like their siblings have died a year ago, but their siblings have been communicating with each other. So they kind of have like, you know, like Sophie has a set of letters and then Viren has another set of letters. So they're kind of talking about each other and then they're kind of sending letters back and forth. But there's a little bit of mystery about how these two people went missing and their two siblings. And I also like that it's probably not going to dive into the romance train because both Sophie and Viren's are in committed relationships with other people. So it's mostly just like a, you know, like a friendship. And I really do like that. And it's just a fun read. Like, it's very, very cozy. It's loving families, epistolary romance, and Inks doing their best work to meet the world crimes. And they're both like very like the characters that we're reading about, E and Hiernans. They're very like scholarly, so you could tell that E has a lot of like mental health issues and she's kind of dealing with that. And I'm just like intrigued, like I want to keep reading. So yeah, but I'm only like 48 pages in. So probably the next time I update you, I'll probably read to like I'm like 120 pages in, just because I can give you like a more solid update. I normally try to update these vlogs when I'm like 25% in, or something like that. But I'm having a really, really fun time with it. It's been a bit since I read like a true cozy, and yeah, so I'll probably read until I get up to page chapter 10. And last night I was up pretty late reading Onyx Storm. But yeah, I'm on sprints with Matt, Mel, and Cassidy. And yeah, I'm going to go back to reading this. So I will talk to you guys soon. Bye. Big Dragons, I'm back. I do have quite a few updates for you, so I want to kind of chat through them. It is Sunday. So I did wind up finishing A Wicked and Beautiful Garden by Katie McGarry, and I'm going to give this book 3 stars. Probably, like, if I'm being honest, 2.75. And I don't know if I'm going to continue this series. I may put it on my spreadsheet, just like when I'm doing readathons. If I need a rather quick audiobook, I may pick it up if I can get it for free, because it wasn't that memorable of a series. It was definitely a fan row that I just didn't feel that connected to the characters. Like, it just is not very memorable to me, and I literally just read it. But the ending was somewhat more interesting, so I don't know. I feel a little bit conflicted if I want to continue this, but this was my first lounge book. It's not give me any extra bonus points, so yeah. So back on Friday, when I first got the Spin a Wheel, I rolled and I got a book by an author I've never read before, and I was like, oh, well, everything I have to read, like, up and coming is by authors I read before. So I decided that I was gonna restart, but then, like, you know what? I'm gonna follow all the rules that I did. So I picked up From Here to Forever. It's the audiobook by Riley Keough and Lisa Marie Presley. I'll attach a photo here. So this is gonna be my first extra book, and it's interesting. Like, I don't think I've ever really heard about Lisa Marie's life. Like, obviously Elvis Presley is like such a big deal, but just interesting seeing it through her point of view, because she's sort of like a very like closed off figure. I do like Riley Keough a lot, so it's kind of told in 3 different ways. You get Lisa Marie's actual voice, and then you kind of get her daughters, and then you get Julia oh my god, I cannot think of her name, Julia Roberts doing Lisa Marie's voice, which I think is very, very interesting, because obviously Lisa Marie passed away. We're right at the part when she is dealing with her demise of her marriage to Michael Jackson, which I think is very interesting and fascinating. So yeah, that's what I'm listening to. I may try to read a little bit more, but let's kind of talk about that. So yesterday I did wind up making it to about page 86 in A Letter to the Luminous Dead by Sylvia Cattrall, and I'm liking this book quite a bit. It's very, very epistolary. I did find out that we are getting a sequel to this, so I'm curious like how this book is getting. But the fun thing sort of about epistolary books or books through letters is you're only in that part of the story, and like we do get other elements. So basically these two characters, this brother and this sister, trying to figure out what happened to their siblings, and you're kind of getting the book told through that point of view. So this is a book that I am going to put on the back burner for a little bit. I think I'm going to read to page 125 to get 25% in, and then I'm going to come and I'm going to chat with you again. But because I knew I was going to have to pick up another book, I rolled again to kind of see what the roll was, and it did not work for this, unfortunately. So I think at some point today, I'm going to start, The Forest Keeper's Daughter. The Forest King's Daughter by Ellie Blake, which I have read a book before, but it's a while ago, and it was for a prompt that I'm nervous about. And honestly, I'm a little bit nervous to read this. I have been really having a rough time with YA fantasy recently, so I want to give this book a shot. It is a review book, so I do have to read it. So I think what I'm going to do is, I'm also in the current timeline. We just got a Secret Passage video, but we don't know what that is. So I'm going to wait to see like if any of these things I'm currently reading will work for the Secret Passage, if this will work for the Secret Passage, if this will work for the Secret Passage, if my audiobook will work for the Secret Passage. So it's just a lot of like, plucking to see what will work, but I do have options. So I do have a little bit of a headache. I always get a headache on Sunday morning because I do not know why. I just always get a headache on Sunday morning. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to get to page 124 in this, and then I'm going to give you guys another update and just see if like we have another update. But I am liking this, and then I think I'm going to dive into this unless the prompt tells me. Kind of the prompt's going to decide, as always. That's like how these readathons work. So yeah, I will be back when I have a little bit of an update for you, when the prompt kind of directs me a little bit more. I'm either going to finish my audiobook today because it's really, really short and I'm going to Diamond Paint, or I'm going to read one of these books for the Secret Passageway. So I'll give you guys an update when that becomes a little bit more apparent to me. Hey chickens, I'm back. So I do have some updates. I did wind up finishing my lounge book for like my extra room, which the prompt was read a book by an author you never read before. So I read the Lisa Marie autobiography. I had a fun time with it. I thought it was quick. I've never really dived into the Elvis Presley family. Like I thought it was just interesting seeing how she grew up. Thought it was interesting that her daughter Riley also like had a point of view in that. So that was super interesting. I don't rate nonfiction, but it did count for that prompt. So I was gonna take a break from this book, A Letter to the Luminous Deep. So I'm gonna stop here. So I'm about 25% in, so I'm probably gonna go back a chapter. I'm gonna just say that I was at page 102. I'm gonna take a bit of a break from this book because I think this book, like, I don't have like a time crunch for. I do want to finish it. I'm very intrigued. The mystery is getting more mysterious. So basically in the past, when you're following E and Henry, you kind of see them chatting about something that's happening, and then in the future you see E and Henry, their siblings, are trying to figure out what happened to them, and they're kind of getting correspondences from these two, but also like outside situations. And basically there is like creatures that she's seeing, and she kind of reaches out to Henry because he's an expert in this field. And then you also learn that there's something in her house that she's unaware of, and her sister is traveling, so she's not there, but something happened to them and they're not there anymore. So they're trying to use these letters to kind of figure out. I'm really having a fun time with it. It is written entirely in like emails, which is always an interesting way to tell a story because you're always missing key information. So we got to 25% into this one. And then I gotta make sure that so the next prompt came up for I think it's the conservatory. I didn't think we were going to get a prompt this fast, but, Rainy does do things a bit chaotically. So we have a bonus prompt. I'm not sure if all the bonus prompts are, announced or, they're not public, so I won't say what our bonus prompt is. But basically everyone has to do a bonus prompt. But to go into the conservatory, you have to read a book that has glass or windows on the cover. So I'm gonna do what I did before. I'm gonna grab an audiobook and then I'm gonna grab a physical book, just to kind of have two going at once. So let me go double check that both my books work, because both the books I have right now do have glass on the cover or windows on the cover, but I need to make sure they have our bonus prompt, which I will chat about that. So just the way that things have been going, I am going to keep reading A Letter to the Luminous Dead, because it does count for both having glass or crystal on the cover. There are a couple of crystals kind of throughout this book, so I'm going to keep reading this one because it does fit my bonus prompt as well that I don't think we're allowed to say. And then the audiobook I'm going to pick up is The Delicate Dream Department Store by Miley. It's translated by Sandy Jose Lee, and this is probably the one I'm going to count for the prompt because I will probably read it rather quicker. It's 284 pages. And I was really hoping I could get to one of my arcs on here. I have 2 arcs that I do need to like read for a blog tour that I'm on, but I'm not going to be able to do it, at least not for this prompt. Definitely, I'm going to try to make some progress on A Letter to the Luminous Deep. Try to finish this one, but I'm eventually going to fall back and read the other book that I have to read. But I just don't want to fall too far behind because I know that it's a big month. So yeah, I'm about 102 pages into this, so I'm going to make some progress on this tonight. And then tomorrow, when I'm sort of heading to work and doing stuff during the day, I definitely don't have I don't have a ton of reading time on Monday. It's probably my least day, and I have stuff I have to do tomorrow. But in my free time, I will pick this one up. So these will be my books I'm going to focus on for the conservatory. Basically, in an ideal world, one will be the room book and one will be a prompt seeing book, which this can easily be a translated book, and this can easily be another book for another room, or I can just roll again for another prompt. So yeah, that is what's happening. I was hoping to squeeze in another book. I think what I might do is I might try to read on my Kindle before bed my e-arc, just so I could get a little bit of reading in tonight as well, to kind of like turn my brain off. Yeah, maybe that's what I'll do. So I'm gonna try to make some progress on that because I do have to read that next. So yeah, I will be back tomorrow with another update, but these are the books I'm gonna focus on, at least for the next couple of days, and see how long it takes me. So I'll talk to you guys in a bit. Bye. Dragons, I am back. It is Monday. I always say I don't read a ton on Monday, and this Monday was definitely true, especially audiobook listening wise. So I'm gonna start with The Delicate Dream Department Store, which I have a physical copy of. So I am gonna say I was probably like, I don't know, I'm gonna probably say I was about like 100 pages into this book. I was about 25% into this book. So I think I got up to like chapter, look at the names and that will kind of tell me. I think I got up to chapter 2. So I think I got up to like almost the end of chapter 2. So I was about like 88 pages into this book. And Mondays is my busiest day. I have to come into work early. I don't have my second prep, and today's like the end. Well, this is like the end of the marking period. So like anything that has to happen is like the next 2 weeks. Like we have grades due, we have bulletin boards due. So I was listening to this when I was doing my bulletin board, which is probably a bad idea because I didn't really retain anything. So I'm going to restart it, and I'm going to give you guys my 25% update tomorrow, but I was liking it. I just was not, like, I was doing other things with my brain. So that I'm not going to get to finish like as soon as I wanted to, but that's okay. That is why I'm also reading A Letter to the Luminous Deep by Sylvie Cottrell. And this I got up to page 158 in, which I am really, really liking. This book, again, inside of what I say with epistolary stories or like, you know, document-based stories, it's not just letters, is like, it's very interesting to see like how you get this story, like how all this information is given to you. And you kind of are getting 2 stories because you're getting E and Henry's stories. And then you're getting Sophie and Vernon, as they're the brothers and sisters that are trying to put this story together. So it's very, very interesting. Like, it's very, very quick. It's very, very readable. I am liking it. But I do think I'm happy that I'm, like, physically reading it. And normally I would say, like, the different voices might help. And I don't know if it's a full cast. I don't know if all these people have different voices. But for me, it's, like, helpful to, like, see, like, whose head I'm in. But I'm having a fun time with it. it's not like knocked my socks off yet, but I do like that, like, Sophie and Vernon, they are in committed relationships with other people. They're both, like, she's in a sapphic relations, he's in a, like, a gay relationship. So I do like that their relationship is not going to turn romance, but I'm really just having a fun time with it. I think the setting's really interesting and unique, and I'm having a fun time with it. So my goal is probably tonight. I'm on sprints with Julie from Keep Calms with Book and Coffee. So I also have to go to my millennial meetup tonight. That is the podcast that I follow that, like, I love and adore and think everyone should listen to them so much. They have 3 different podcasts now, but this is for the main show that is more political. So we all kind of meet once a month and just kind of chit chat about life. So I'm excited to go to that. So yeah, I am liking this. I was liking this too. I just don't know. I mean, if worse comes to worse and this is the book I finish first, I will just count this for another prompt. But it is very, very short. So I really do just want to make some progress on this, but you know, alas. So I am going to go sit down, bring the puppy inside because she's outside. And yeah, tomorrow is rehearsal day, which means I'll be home a little bit later than normal. And I hope tomorrow to, like, start just organizing my classroom a little bit. I feel like the last month has just been a bit chaotic. It was like, you know, we came back from Christmas break, and then it was just like a mad dash to, like, this, and there was just a lot of, like, days off. It didn't feel like a really, really consistent month. We had like a few days off, but I also was out for a few days. So it just was like a weird marking period. It's always like, the second marking period is always the weirdest because I feel like it's like the shortest. So yeah, that is where we are with that. But yeah, I'm going to go read a bit more of this until my meetup and try to just get a bit more reading in. If by some reason I get up to 200, I will give you an update, but I doubt that's going to happen. It could. But yeah. My plan for tomorrow is to probably be up to page 250 by tomorrow. That would be good. And be at least 50% into this book because it's really not that long. And I probably shouldn't have restarted, but I've just tried to tell myself this year to stop rushing and just kind of, like, slow down in all aspects of my life. So reading as well. So yeah, I will talk to you guys soon. Maybe later, maybe tomorrow. Definitely tomorrow. And yeah, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye. Oh yay, 2 days of updating a vlog in a row. Julie from Keep Calms with Book and Coffee will be so proud of me. So I did wind up getting up to about page 88 in The Delicate Dreams Department Store by Mai Lee. And I am enjoying this book. I feel like, basically, you follow this character who works in this dream department store. She kind of gets hired, and every single floor has, like, a different theme, and she's kind of, you know, kind of going through her life working there. It's interesting. I'm, like, having a fun time with it, but I almost wonder if I would get through it faster if I was just physically reading it, because it's, like, a little bit like novella stories. So I am on page 88 in this, and I feel like we're probably gonna get a prompt drop tomorrow, but I didn't listen to enough of this to, like, you know, make a decision. But I also got up to page 88, 188 in The Letter to the Luminous Deep by Sylvia Cottrell. And I am really liking this book. I think it's a fun read. We're definitely diving more into Sylvie, you know, E and Henry's, like, love romance, like how that all happened. There is definitely a solid mystery plotline in here as well, which I am liking. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to try to get up to page 204 because that's where, like, my bookmark is. And then I might see if I'm going to read a little bit more of this just to kind of get a little bit more head start. But they're both cozy vibes and I am liking them. I just wonder if this book, because it's so short story-esque, if I would have liked it more, like, as a physical read. I don't know, but it is, like, super short. It's, like, not that long. So I think I'm going to read a little bit more of this. And then this. Today was rehearsal day. Actually, I had a really, really good rehearsal today for the show. Sometimes I feel like I just have to, like, slow myself down a little bit and, like, let us have those moments where we kind of build the show together. And I have to realize that, like, I don't have to have every answer to every problem, and, like, it's okay. But so yeah, that was today. We're also, like, on the challenge of grades. I'm trying to, like, set stuff up for, like, a next unit. And yeah, so I'm gonna go read a little bit. I just got home. I had my rehearsal today. Tomorrow I don't have rehearsal, but I did work out, which I don't normally do on Tuesday, but I really want my Sundays free. I really want to come home and not do anything on Sundays, so I'm trying to, like, bank workout, so it's like done. We'll see. We'll see if that worked. But yeah, I will give you guys an update tomorrow after my hair appointment. And yeah, so my goal is to have made progress in both of these, and whatever book I have to be done with, I'll be done with, because I don't want to fall too far behind for get a clue. But if I fall a little bit behind, it's okay. I just read slowly during the week. And I know tomorrow I'm also going to miss another prep period. So maybe I should try to like get this book to like, maybe I should try to get up to like chapter 5 or something in this, or at least have like less to read. We'll see. But yeah, I'm gonna go read and I'll talk to you guys soon. Check-ins, I'm back. I always look my best on Tuesdays or Wednesdays because I get my hair done. So I did that. We're supposed to get like a really, really bad like weather storm the next like week. So I have to commute into the city. Always. So I'm always like a little bit cautious of storms. But I did wind up powering through and finishing The Delicate Dream Department Store by Mei Lee. This is for my conservatory prompt. It also did fit all my bonuses as well. Oh, I have to double check that I don't have to submit that like another location, which I just have to double check before I like move on. I don't know. I enjoyed this book. I think that it was a fun read. I kind of felt like I was reading an office, like an office style book, but it was interesting. I just didn't have enough like coziness to connect me, and like I liked our main character, but I didn't love her, so I felt like it was more like vignettes. I think that if I haven't read it, but like I listened to like an hour of the audiobook and just got distracted. But if you like the Coffee Gets Cold series, I think that this would be a fun one, and I liked it. I just don't think it was super memorable. I don't know if I would pick up book 2 in the series, but again, it was an arc. I'm trying to read down my arcs and it worked for the prompt. So I definitely am gonna switch over to the audiobook for A Letter to the Luminous Deep by Sylvia Cattrall, because this is going to be perfect for a bonus prompt, which is to read a book with like a mystery element. And I am really, I think I'll love this on audio because there's a bunch of different narrators. So yeah, right now I'm on page 200 and I think I'm on page like 232, so I'm on chapter 17. This book does have a lot of mental health representation, and you do also move past like the 4 people you get. You kind of get a past, I said the past timeline is when these 2 characters are falling in love, and then you get a present timeline, which is sort of following their siblings trying to uncover what this mystery is. Sorry, my dog is barking. But as the story goes on, you do get more outside experiences, so I'm curious to see how that kind of does. There is a lot of mental health representation for all of the characters. But yeah, what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up another book because I have to read it for a vlog, like for a blog tour anyway. So I'm going to pick up The Forest King's Daughter by Ellie Blake, and I will attach a photo here for a prompt to drop, and hope I can count this for the next prompt, and if not, I'm just going to have to like figure it out, I guess, because I do have to read this regardless. But this is a YA fantasy book that I have to read anyway. So yeah, that is the plan. I'm going to turn this into my audiobook tomorrow. According to my Everand thing that I just downloaded, this book I have about like 2 hours left in my audiobook. So I will be able to finish this tomorrow. And I'll probably come home and I might even like just kind of flip through the book at the end. But the book is only, let's see, the book is only like 352 pages, so I only have like 100 pages left, which I could definitely finish on audio. And I do like that we have a bunch of different narrators, so yeah, that is what I'm going to read. So tomorrow, hopefully, I will have an update for this. I think we're going to get a prompt drop tomorrow. That is my theory. Also, if by chance we have a snow day, I can update you guys a lot earlier because I won't be going to work. I also don't know if they're going to have after school drama club tomorrow. I am unsure about all that. But yeah, so that is where we are. But I am happy that I finished this. I'm happy that I powered through and finished this. I literally just listened to this all day, like as I was doing errands and stuff. And it was a quick read. I just don't think it hit the way I was hoping. And I really have loved all of the cozy fantasies, but this one just wasn't my favorite of all time, I will say that. Also, my friend, this is not for this vlog, but I'll mention this, but my friend is pretty far into Onyx Storm. I think she has like 12 chapters left in this book, and she is like brokenhearted and devastated. and she was ahead, then I was ahead, so now we're like going back and forth on who's ahead. So I can't wait to see her like reactions towards the end, because that book gets crazy and wild. So yeah, I will talk to you guys when I have an update tomorrow. Send me some snowy vibes, because I would love a snow day, but I don't think it's actually gonna happen. So I will talk to you guys soon. Bye for another update. Bye. Hey Big Dragons! Today I did not get a lot done, and I don't know why. I didn't read a ton. I also did switch over to the audiobook, and I'm not sure I like it, to be very, very honest and like super frank. So I think I'm just gonna put this book down, and I'm gonna come back to it when I have time to kind of like go back to it. I think that if I would have like read it from the beginning as a audiobook, I think I would have liked it. But honestly, right now I'm just so invested in like reading it physically. I think that's how I'm gonna finish it. So I wound up getting up to about chapter 17. I didn't read a ton of this. And then I read like 25%, like 10% of The Forest King's Daughter on my Kindle. But then when I went home, I didn't read anymore. And now I have to go start another blog. So yeah, this is my wrap up for week 1 of Get a Clue. And yeah, I hope you guys like the vlog. Thank you so much for Rainy for the chaos. Let me know if you're participating in Team Clue. What team are you on? I'm Team Green. And I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.